for
early morning running.
Early morning running as the head football coach of Boston College, Bill O'Brien, is with Gresha and Fauria. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, my God, what has the last 2 months been like in the life and the world of Coach Bill O'Brien?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. Look, it's one of those things where, you have opportunities that come up and you try to make the best decision for your family along with your family. My wife, Colleen, and I thought that, Ohio State was a really good opportunity. And then obviously when Coach Hafley decided to go to Green Bay, this became an incredible opportunity, just where I'm from, the type of place that Boston College is, and the fit, and just being here for 5 days right now, just couldn't be happier with being here and getting this thing going.
Hey, Coach, it's Gresha and Fauria here. I don't even know. I got to check your memory because when you took the Penn State job, I went out there and I visited you. I don't even know if you remember me coming to visit you and talking to you.
Yeah, I totally. How can I forget, Christian? How can I forget?
Well, I wasn't sure. Listen, a lot's happened in your life since then, right? You've been. I mean, successful at Penn State and then at Houston and at Alabama, the Patriots, obviously. Yeah, I know when you took over that Penn State job, that was tough. That was a whole changing of everything, and you did a fabulous job. What is the the situation like at BC compared to Penn State?
Yeah, very different. I mean, very different. I appreciate you saying that, Christian. Penn State was, at that time, 2012, was going through a very tough time, and when I took the Penn State job. We had a really good football team at the time, and then in that summer that I took it, here came the sanctions, and the guys were able to transfer and go anywhere they wanted, and we were able to keep most of that team together, and that was probably our first experience with the transfer portal. Even though the portal wasn't really in vogue then, we had to deal with it right away, but being here at Boston College is a lot different. It's a program that is really filled with a bunch of great kids. This is a morning program, so these kids get up at 5:30 in the morning, and they work out at 6:30, and they work very hard, and they meet on football. We were able to work with them during the week, which is really good, and then they go to class. So these guys go to class in the afternoon and come back up here at night and do a little bit more football. So, this is a program that is filled with a lot of guys that really understand what this place is all about. Playing good football and getting a great education in a world-renowned city. I think it's a cool place to coach and play.
Boston College head football coach Bill O'Brien with Gresha and Fauria. And, Coach, there have been Heisman finalists at Boston College. There have been years where they've won, where they haven't. There's always been the struggle for Boston College football to get their slice of the pie here in this region because we're so pro-heavy. You're from here. You understand that. How do you go about trying to raise the profile of Boston College football in a city full of superstars and winners?
Absolutely, though. I totally agree with you on that. And Boston, is such a great city with all the great teams that are in this city. We have to find our niche. There's a niche for Boston College in this city. I think we have to go out and sell the program. We have to put a good product on the field. We have to win games. We have to be a product that's exciting to watch, where people want to come and watch us play. And that starts with us as a coaching staff and our players, working hard to do that. But I do think, with that being said, if we can put a good product on the field and we can win football games, there's a niche for us in this city. There's a lot of people in this city, in this region, that love Boston College, that take a lot of pride in Boston College. And there's a great history and tradition here at Boston College, filled with a lot of great players, like you just said, over time. And there's been coaches here that did an unbelievable job. We're not hearkening back to yesteryear. That's not really what I'm saying, but I did grow up watching Coach Bicknell and Coach Coughlin, and I was obviously familiar with Coach O'Brien, what he did here. And we need to, take that formula and be able to, go out there and find some guys that can help us win some games and really have a great product that people want to come watch.
So we're talking to new head coach of the BC Eagles, Bill O'Brien. And, Coach, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, when I saw that your name was involved in this, I thought that was crazy. Not because you can't do it, but more because how tough it is to coach in college and deal with the portal, deal with NIL, deal with just, entitled young athletes that always want something from you, and how I feel like a lot of college coaches recruit the kids out of high school, and then they got to recruit them while they're on campus on the team. I'm curious if you gave that any thought, or did you already kind of understand it since you were with Alabama?
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. First of all, I think that, and somebody asked me the same exact question yesterday, I think every job I've had has been tough. Like, these are hard jobs. Like, that's the way it is. Football is hard. Pro football is not easy, and college football is not easy, but that's why they hire us to embrace these places that we go to and sell what we're all about. Christian, I think, like, when you think about Boston College, yeah, we will definitely be involved in the NIL and the portal and things like that. But I don't think at the end of the day that's really what we're all about. We're all about, like, hey, let's get some kids that are good football players that really care about the value of a good education, because football doesn't last forever. I think if the first question out of a recruit's mouth to us is like, how much are you going to pay me? I would say that probably isn't maybe a great fit for Boston College. And I think you can win with guys that care about all those things, giving back to the community and things like that. I also think that when you're saying about recruiting your own kids, I think it is about relationships. And one of the first things I'm doing here, the main thing I'm doing, is meeting with each guy on the team. I have about 50 guys I've met with. I got 50 more to go, because I think it's really important to have a great relationship with these guys from the start and understand that you can have an impact on their lives. And I think that's a big part of what we're going to try to do here. And, there's the portal and there's the NIL, but we can't let those things dominate our thoughts at Boston College. We have to be about the people and the relationships that we develop with these guys, and developing them as football players and giving them a chance to succeed on and off the field.
BC head coach Bill O'Brien with Gresha and Fauria. And, Coach, I want to ask you kind of an overall coaching question, because we're in a weird time, it feels like. The NFL has sort of pushed back their hiring cycle in terms of assistants, and we see guys now named head coach, around the Super Bowl. In college football, we've got guys leaving FCS jobs as head coaches or low-level FBS jobs as head coaches and going to be coordinators at big schools. It feels like the coaching industry business is in a funny place. Am I over-evaluating it? Like, as a guy who has literally this month kind of jumped around a little bit, how do you sort of see the state of your profession overall?
Yeah, I would agree. I think that coaching is in a little bit of a different place. I think that, I had some conversations with some guys this morning, some great coaches, and, we were actually talking about this. And really, I think, for me, it's all about, why did I get into coaching, my journey has taken me on a lot of twists and turns, but I've had some incredible opportunities to coach, really guys like some of the best players to ever play the game. And I learned so much from those players. And along the way, I made some mistakes. I tried to learn from my mistakes, get better, and I tried to figure out what was the best fit for me. What is the best fit? And Boston College is a great fit for me. And to all young coaches, I would say, you got to find out, really what you're passionate about. What's a good fit for you? Are you passionate about, college football? Are you passionate about pro football? And you want to set a goal and try to get to that point and try to make best decisions for you along the way. I think that's been key for me, and especially for me and my wife Colleen, is we always tried to make the best decisions for our family. And I think that's what we've tried to do, and we always try to find the best fit. And I think this has been a really good fit for us, and we're really happy to be here. And I think that's really what all coaches are trying to do, just try to find the best fit for them.
So, Coach, just I guess a offensive question as far as your philosophy, your scheme, your system. Really, is it based on the offensive coaching tree? You were with the Patriots, and then Penn State, and then Houston and Alabama. What would you consider your system to be? What would it be? The old Charlie Weiss system? Is it a version of a mix of a bunch of different systems? Or what should fans expect when the offense steps onto the field?
I think it's going to be the foundation of what we did really at Alabama and at New England. We'll be a team that really looks at who we have offensively. Here we have a really good quarterback that had a very productive year last year at Downey Castellano. So, a lot of our offense will be centered around what our quarterback can do. We have to try to be balanced. Just from being here for 5 days, I'm really impressed with our offensive line. We got a really good offensive line with some guys that will end up playing on Sunday. So we got to be able to run the football. But we really need to be able to throw the football down the field. And we need to have chunk plays, and, we need to be able to move the ball in an efficient manner. But, I think we need to be an exciting team. We need to be a team that throws the ball and has a way of playing that people want to come watch. And I think that's what we're going to try to do. I like the guys that we have. I've only been here 5 days, but I've liked what I've seen so far. And, in college football, Christian, you can work with these guys. So it's not like the pros where they're gone until, March or whatever. You're able to do football things with these guys. And so I've been able to watch them throw and run routes and block and things like that. So I've been really impressed with what I've seen. So I'm looking forward to working with them.
Bill O'Brien, Boston College head football coach, here with Gresha and Fauria. Coach, does this job maybe reinvigorate you after what was clearly a struggle last season with the Patriots?
Absolutely, yeah. This is definitely invigorating relative to what happened last year. Look, last year was a tough year. We didn't play well offensively, and I say we, all of us. We just didn't do a good enough job. We turned it over too much. We made too many self-inflicted errors, and I wish Coach Mayo and that staff the best. They'll get it. They'll get it right. I felt like when I went to Ohio State, that was a better place for me at the time, and I made that decision to go. And then obviously this job came, and I feel like I'm in a really good place right now for me and the guys here and my family. So. But yeah, it was a tough year. But those things happen. I think that, I've been doing this 32 years. Not every year has been, 14-2, 14-3. Some years are tougher than others. And last year was tough, but there was a bunch of good guys on that team that I enjoyed coaching. And I really wish everybody at the Patriots the best.
Coach, I'm curious. You mentioned 32 years. They may not all be winning seasons, but they're growing seasons. You sort of learn. I'm curious, after just how it went really sideways last year, what were the lessons for Bill O'Brien and some of the takeaways that will make you better as a head football coach?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you always learn. You're always, trying to get better. I think in this profession, you're learning every single day. You learn from the players. You learn from the guys that you're coaching with. And, I think last year, what I learned was that, look, at the end of the day, you have to be able to, whether it's pro football or college football, you have to be able to do the simple things very, very well. And, you have to win the penalty battle. You got to take care of the football. You have to eliminate, self-inflicted errors. You have to make great decisions as coaches and as players relative to play calls, play designs, but also the execution of plays. And, I think if you do that, you'll end up winning. And we just didn't do that. We didn't do the simple things well enough. And in the end, we played a lot of close games, but it just wasn't good enough. And we didn't play complementary football. And so we're going to try to do that better here at Boston College and try to learn from, some of the things that we did there and try to do them better here at Boston College.
Well, I'll tell you what, in knowing the New England landscape and all these, kids that have been sired by these former Patriots like Fauria and others, you know where to go right in the backyard to be able to pluck these kids of Super Bowl champions, Coach.
Absolutely. It's like, Christian and then Zolak texted me and, everybody's got, there's a lot of, I think there's a couple of Brewskis out there, but I don't know. There's a bunch of guys.
It's funny, Coach. You actually know my father-in-law from Brown, Bob Hall. He's 80. He's got a play in him. You know what? And he's got money, too, so everybody sucks up to him. I married up. I ain't lying.
I never knew that. Oh, I never knew that. Oh, I love Bob Hall.
Oh, yeah. I think he might be, Coach, the last person roaming Earth drafted in the same year by MLB, the AFL, and the NFL. That's a pretty damn good distinction, yeah.
Absolutely. A phenomenal athlete at Brown and an even better guy. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
tell Bob
Oh, I will. Oh, believe me. And I'm sucking up just as much as everybody else, babe. You got you know why. Coach, thanks a bunch for the time, man. We appreciate it. We'll definitely talk to you before the season starts.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
There we go. Bill O'Brien. How about that? Hey, listen. I took care of myself, but I also took care of you, too. You know, I got all these kids of NFLers running around.
All you have to do is plant the seed.
That's right, baby.
I'll do the rest.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
And I sucked up, too, so we're covered, right?
We'll be at the spring game.